What is up, guys? Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh 1.
And we're back at it to answer your questions in this installment of For the Greater
War. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us to answer, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those first. That is what DOW234 did. He asks, if you could change the lore, what would you change? Hell, make it a 40 facts. Maybe later.
Yeah, that's a good idea because there's a lot of stuff that can be changed.
What is one thing that you definitely think needs to change in Warhammer 40k lore?
Hands down, definitely the Sisters of Battle should have a way to become Space Marines.
Space Marines.
Yeah, call me a heretic, call me whatever it is you want to call me. But yeah, the Sisters of Battle, they have a great devotion to the Emperor. And I feel like that devotion would be better put to use if they could actually survive and dish out more damage. And what better way to do that than to become Astartes? So make them these awesome Amazonian women, and that'll be pretty cool. So
yeah, because if you think about it, and if you look at the actual artwork, most of the Sisters of Battle carry bolter, not the pistols, but the bolter. What are they called?
Those things.
Yeah, the big bolters, I guess.
And those are heavy.
In the lore, they can only be shot by Space Marines because the recoil could only be bared, or the only people that can bear that type of recoil is the Space Marine body. Yet the Sisters of Battle have them. So I mean, it's already there. The models already look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe beef them up a little bit. Give us some Primaris.
There you go.
Sisters of Battle. Space Marine mixture or something or another.
Primaris sororitas.
Yes. You could still keep the Sisters of Silence.
Mm-hmm.
That lore is really good. That lore I like. But the Sisters of Battle would just be a really nice twist to make them Primaris. Also, I think that in the lore, we need to start seeing more allied teams or stories pertaining to allies between the Eldar, Tau, and the Imperium. Just because it seems like it's happening with Guilliman and the Eldari. And of course the Tau at some point, they're a really good playable army. At some point we have to build ethereals working alongside an Imperial governor. You could add conflict and everything, but I think there has to be an alliance.
Yeah, because when you look at every other race, they're pretty much out to get you. Orcs, they're, they just love fighting. Yeah. Tyranids, they're going to eat. Necrons, they have their own agenda. But when it comes to Tau, Eldar, and humans, or Space Marines, whatever you want to call it, they kind of have to ally to go to, fight against everybody else.
Yeah. So those are the things that we would change.
What would you guys change?
Next question.
This one is by Sarah Skittles. Can you guys do an episode shirtless? I'm not wearing a shirt right now, so does that count?
Yeah, there you go. It's just a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from Yasen Jamal. Can ordinary humans and female Ogrins breed? Slanesh intensifies. Yes, they can. There's actually a short story, I believe, of a half Ogrin, half human, who's part of the Imperial Guard. So he's not, because Ogrins usually tend to be they see humans as pets in a way.
Yeah, kind of.
But at the same time, the humans see the Ogrins as pets, or not as pets, but as tools.
Mm-hmm.
And they bond. So it's like a dog and a man
kind of relationship.
Yeah. And then they bond like that. And then in this case, in this short story, it was above that. So they would try to treat the Ogrin half human, or the Ogrin hybrid or whatever, like an Ogrin, but he was more intelligent than that. And he ended up taking out a Killer Khan whole squad or something like that, which is pretty badass. I can't remember why I saw that. It was a long time ago. But yeah. Next question.
This one is Alexis Rakitsitsi. I don't know how to say that, your last name. But anyway, do you guys think that the Adeptus Arbutus could be introduced as an army? After watching your video on them, I'm intrigued and hopeful.
Who?
The Arbutus. So the Judge Dreads and all those guys.
Can they be their own army? No. They can become part of the Inquisition.
Yeah.
They can help the Inquisition a lot. I think that's where the motto comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can't be their own army, because usually An Arbutus is like a sheriff.
Right.
So if you have a huge like riot, it's the police that answers that, not the sheriff. It's not like, because there's probably only like a handful of sheriffs around, a region. Same thing with the Arbutus. In a planet, there's only a handful of Arbutists. So if a full-scale orc invasion happens, 12 Arbutus aren't gonna do anything. But you could add them into a Inquisition army, and bam.
Why not just add rogue traders to it too? That'd be pretty cool.
Rogue traders would be really nice to see. That would be awesome. Yeah. Inti666. Can you make a tour of your room HQ? Greetings from Mexico. Sure. So this is the window to the warp. That is a Geller field curtain that actually protects us from the warp emission. And then this is a wall. It looks blue to you, but it's actually not blue. It's that. Okay, and then this is an image that was given to us by one of our viewers. If you guys want to send us cool artwork, please send it to our PO box. Link down in the description. Or
yeah,
there.
Description.
And then this is a box that you can win of some orc starter set things. We haven't announced the winner yet. We probably will tomorrow, maybe.
Hopefully.
And that was a tour of our HQ. Yeah.
Next question is by Margaretha. Ha ha ha. Are there good, merciful orcs out there?
No.
The only good orc is a dead orc.
I wouldn't say all that. Next question comes from Zydric Karili. What are your daily jobs, if you don't mind me asking? What jobs in the Imperium would you trade for your real-life jobs? So I work for a utility company as a project analyst. Pretty boring.
What would you trade it in for?
I would trade it in for... Is becoming an Adeptus Astartes a job?
I guess. I mean, it's their job to protect humanity and whatnot.
Yeah, I would either do that or... See, it's difficult because I would say like rogue trader, but you can't really like those aren't positions that you apply for. Those are positions you are born into. But I would love to be born into a rogue trader family.
Yeah. If you guys haven't noticed already, I work at a hardware store. Bam. Check the previous Greater Walls, you'll find out which one. Nike. I work for Nike. They're a hardware store, guys.
Okay, now.
But yeah, I would definitely trade that in to maybe be like I don't know. I feel like a medic in the Imperial Guard would be pretty cool. Since you're not actually... Well, you're on the front lines, so like there's still a high chance of you dying. But since you're not actually engaged in combat, you can still live.
It's like that movie Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's really good. I saw Dunkirk, though. That was alright.
I haven't seen Dunkirk.
It's very...
That's with Christopher Nolan, right?
Right. It's very realistic, I'll put it that way.
So there's not that much action.
There is action, but not like Saving Private Ryan level of action.
Oh, because did you ever watch the Jarhead?
No.
I think it was called. Jarhead was a really bad movie.
It looked good, and I know you were really excited for it, but it
was bad.
Black Hawk Down was good, though.
Black Hawk Down is probably... That's the movie that I watched to get motivated to play a game of 40k.
That's a good one.
I imagine the Somalians as orcs and the Americans as Imperial Guard troopers. Yeah. Next question comes from JR Radio. Do you think Magnus and the Old One Old One Eye are friends? Because they both have one eye.
One eye. Well, I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
They're not. This one is by Louis Poma. If Space Marine chapters get made, can whole factions? Huh? If Space Marine chapter get made, can whole factions?
Oh, so you're saying like can like we create our own chapters? Can we create our own factions? No. I think that's what he means.
Okay. Well, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more clear in the next one, Lewis.
Yeah. But no. Yeah. Next question comes from Maniac Moonin. Have the Harlequins ever fought Necrons? Yes, a lot. Harlequins and they have, what are they called? They're called shows. No, what are the Harlequin like units called?
Troops.
Troops. No.
Like tropes. I
I thought it was like something that had to do with the play.
Yeah. Tropes.
Tropes. Okay, well, there's a specific trope or troop that is specifically for fighting Necrons. If you check out our 40 facts on the Harlequins, probably, troops then, you'll find it there. Next question.
Abydos. Could you two handsome boys bend over for the Emperor or for the greater good?
Chaos.
He'll bend over for chaos?
Yes, because chaos is at least gonna tip me at the end.
No, as long as I get a tip, I'm happy.
That's gay. Next question comes from Bruva Michael. Can Tzeentch send a small group of Space Marines to another universe? Ask if there is any absurd things or powers to allow them to cross over. No, I don't think so. I don't think that any of the Chaos Gods have power in any other universe. Right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise we would see other universe.
Right, like other stuff, blend in or come in or whatever. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that Rick and Morty can't come into the Warhammer 40k universe.
They could.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, just use that portal gun.
Next question.
Carson Casimiri. Whatever happened to the homes of the traitor Primarchs that weren't destroyed? For example, Nostromo or Olympia.
Still there?
Yeah. They're probably under like Imperial control, and they're like pretty heavily guarded since a Chaos Primarch was born from here. So.
Mm-hmm. Most of the time they are wiped off the map though.
Like Prospero. Prospero was good, right? It was Tiska's the ones I'm thinking of, which is the Thousand Suns. It was like burned to the ground by the Space Wolves and all that.
Yeah.
Prospero was good, right?
Well, no, Prospero was a planet. Tiska, I think, was a city.
Oh.
Yeah, so they burned down the city, and then the planet was actually absorbed
into
the warp.
The warp, yeah.
By Tzeentch. Next question comes from Venom Star. What would happen if King Solomon would appear in Warhammer 40k? Uni and all of his knowledge came with him. Who's King Solomon?
I feel like that's something religious. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure who King Solomon is.
But
Next question.
This one is by All Might. Can Gersh arm wrestle me? Cuckoo!
Like this.
There you
Basic.
go. Goals.
Next question comes from Ray Silver. Does all the Primarchs sound alike? I mean, does their speaking voice all sound like the Emperor? No, because the Primarchs come from different planets that have different tongues.
Yeah, because if Jagtai Khan sounds British, that'd be a little off. But I mean, GW was founded in
UK.
The UK, so that's probably why they all sound the same, because they all have the same accents.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have different accents. They were born in different planets, different dialects, different languages, most likely. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Next question. I got one from Nick Swinson.
Ooh.
Is there a Sisters of Battle order dedicated to the Promethean cult instead of the Imperial Creed? No, not that I know of. Next question.
This one is by Spartan A11. Will the Imperium fall apart in the future? Kind of looks that way.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like inklings of maybe civil war will happen, and like if the Emperor does come back, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be people that say no, this is chaos trying to trick you, and other people are gonna be like, no, this is the Emperor and a civil war, and yeah. So and chaos is out there, Tyranids are out there, so they're pretty much screwed.
Yep, basically. And this is the last question coming from Kay. Do Traitor Legions have successor chapters or just warbands?
Pretty much all war bands.
Yeah. Because the successor chapter comes from the Imperium.
Imperium, yeah, that's a whole Imperium standard, or like
because of the Codex Astartes.
exactly. Yeah.
The Codex Astartes created those, whereas the other legions, the ones that went traitor, they still maintain their colors, or they just create their own warbands.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the questions for this week. Thank you for sending those questions our way. If you guys want us to answer more questions, comment down below. And if your question was not answered, comment down below, because at some point we will answer that question.
That's right. We do this 3 times a week, so again, that's 3 times for us to get to your question. This is probably the best place to put your questions, because we do get asked questions in our other 40k videos, as well on Facebook, but this is probably the best way.
Yes, questions.
As always, guys, don't forget we have a Patreon page, an Instagram page, a Twitter page, and a Facebook page. So check us out on all those social media platforms. And as always,
Gersh 1.
Sound Alchemist, we are One Mind Syndicate. We're out of here.